ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC7 News at Noon.
Route 2 in Lincoln was closed Wednesday afternoon following a single vehicle crash. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. A Palmyra woman accused of setting her home on fire has been indicted by the Somerset County Grand Jury. And a former Portland man was sentenced for his part in a standoff with Brewer police back in 2021. Thank you for joining us. These stories and more are coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey, Susan, happy Thursday afternoon, and your first weather forecast brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. We had plenty of rain that moved through over the past 24 hours, though. Look at Cooper, 1.94 inches of rain, Rogers Farmside, 1.83 inches of rain, and many other areas as well over an inch, so some decent rainfall across the area. This will not show up in the drought monitor, as this all fell after the observation was taken, but next week, though, we might start seeing some improvement in any drought monitors across the area. But otherwise, we also had some gusty winds as well. Some areas reaching up to 60 miles per hour, and some areas a little bit lower at around 40 miles per hour. So a few days, it's been definitely pretty windy around here, but now things will start to calm down slowly but surely moving forward. But either way, though, we still have a wind advisory up until 7 p.m. later on tonight. Some areas will still experience some gusty winds. Gale warnings up until 9 p.m. later on tonight. Some areas will expire a little bit sooner at around 7 p.m. or so some of these will vary depending on where you're at. But now the radar and satellite is starting to clear their precipitation out, but we'll have to watch out for snow showers and maybe a few snow flurries as the day marches on. As we get some of the wraparound effect of the area of low pressure that's currently moving off towards the north and east. So a little bit of snow possible in the northern ends of the state and maybe in our backyard as well before we're all finished up. Hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, mostly cloudy, some snow showers and snow flurries possible. Temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast, it's coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. Strong winds have brought down tree limbs. As of 10:30 this morning, Central Maine Power was dealing with more than 11,000 outages throughout its territory. Most of those are in Waldo, Cumberland, Androscoggin, and Kennebec counties. Versant Power is also trying to restore electricity to more than 6,000 customers in its area. According to Versant, the majority of those are in Penobscot, Hancock, and Washington counties. It's a good time to remind people to stay away from any down power line they might see. Utility crews will be out throughout the day working to get the lights back on. Route 2 in Lincoln was among the roadways closed Wednesday afternoon following a single vehicle crash. Crews responded to the crash just before 4 p.m. between Pleasant Street and Highland Avenue. Captain Corey Stratton with the Lincoln Fire Department says crews arrived on the scene to find 2 downed utility poles and power lines across the road. He says the car involved in the crash was up against a house.
The way it looked to me, like she had hit one pole and pulled the other one down and went through some bushes and then striking the front steps of a residence.
Captain Stratton says the driver of that vehicle had to be extricated from the vehicle and sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The stretch of road has since reopened. The Somerset County Grand Jury indicted a Palmyra woman accused of setting her home on fire. 44-year-old Allison Trask was indicted for arson, aggravated criminal mischief, domestic violence reckless conduct, and domestic violence terrorizing. State police say Trask started a fire in July that destroyed a residence as well as 2 motorhomes and also caused substantial damage to a garage. No one was living in the residence at the time of the fire. Trask and her boyfriend were living in an apartment over the garage. 2 other people were also in the apartment at the time of the fire. No one was injured. According to the state police, Trask was on probation for a prior drug offense when she allegedly set that fire. A LaGrange man arrested by Bangor police on an outstanding attempted murder warrant has been indicted by the Penobscot County Grand Jury. 36-year-old Patrick Lloyd was originally from Massachusetts, which is where the attempted murder charge came from. When police stopped Lloyd, they found a handgun hidden in his car. Officials believe the gun was stolen from the Ellsworth area in 2020. The Penobscot County Grand Jury indicted him for receiving stolen property, possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, and violation of conditions of release. An Uber driver accused of sexually assaulting an intoxicated rider was also indicted. 28-year-old Joseph Graston was indicted on a gross sexual assault and unlawful sexual assault charges in connection with the alleged incident that happened in June when he picked up a patron from a nightclub in Bangor. And the grand jury indicted a Bangor man who allegedly fired a gun inside his apartment during an argument. Police found a bullet lodged in the wall of a Jefferson Street apartment. 35-year-old Fox Maloney was indicted for reckless conduct with a firearm. A former Portland man was sentenced Wednesday for his part in a standoff with Brewer police back in 2021. Patrick Mullen was sentenced by U.S. District Court to 37 months in prison and 3 years of supervised release after pleading guilty back on February 10th of 2022. Brewer police were called to the Walmart parking lot due to a reported disturbance. Police determined that Mullen had 3 warrants and saw him in his truck loading a firearm. Police were able to de-escalate the situation without incident. After an hour, he surrendered and was taken into custody. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, Maine Secretary of State has certified a petition that calls for a customer-owned Maine-based utility. We'll have the details when we return.
Winning car accident cases is what we do.
I injured my hip and they got me $260,000. What did the twos do for you?
Lowry and Associates got me $350,000.
We win for you.
22.
Let your creativity run free at the Creative Arts Center, where we offer fun and affordable activities for all ages. Birthday parties, pottery wheel classes, painting lessons, or just for the fun of it. Get fired up for glazing projects as well as acrylics. We offer a wide selection of ceramic products for you to choose from, and we have thousands of pieces ready to paint. We are a Paragon kiln dealer and a Laguna Clay distributor. Stop by the Creative Arts Center today, located just off the Joshua Chamberlain Bridge in Brewer. The Creative Arts Center, where your only limitation is your imagination.
Happy holidays from Maine Collision Center for all your collision repairs. We help straighten out your life. Season's greetings from all of us at Color Concepts, 840 Hammond Street, Bangor. See us for Benjamin Moore Paints and Hunter Douglas. ADA Fence would like to thank all past and present customers for your patronage. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
You can shop for the holidays at Lighthouse Gallery in downtown Bugsport. Lighthouse Gallery has the works of more than 60 Maine artists exhibited for sale in a light-filled, relaxing gallery. Jewelry made from nature, burlwood vases, photography, oil, watercolor, pastel, and acrylic paintings with affordable prices that will support our local artists while providing unique holiday gifts. Lighthouse Gallery also sells art supplies and invites you to their community gathering room with a beautiful view of Penobscot Bay. Lighthouse Gallery, open year-round in downtown Bugsport.
Tesoro Italian Restaurant serves Bangor's best pizza, pasta, and sandwiches. Dine in or take out. Located in downtown Bangor, across from the library. Open Tuesday through Sunday, 3 to 9, and for lunch at 11, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come in and taste what everybody's talking about.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The House approved a bill that could prevent a national rail strike set to begin next week. John Matthew takes a look at the potential impact of a strike here in Maine.
We've been following negotiations and the potential fallout of a freight rail strike. Experts here in Maine telling us any rail strike could send any economic progress off the tracks locally.
It would disrupt the normal things that have been at the heart of the inflation that we've been happening, including food, transportation.
USM economics professor Michael Hilliard says food prices, which are already high, could go up even more. And the pain would continue at the pump where gas prices could rise 15 to 20 cents. It's uneasy news heading into an unstable winter, but Hilliard says it should be temporary.
This could be very dramatic if there is a strike because this would renew the kind of disruptions that we've seen in our economy over the last couple of years, probably for a relatively short period of time, but it could disrupt things for a couple of months.
And the fallout could be felt at hotels and restaurants as well. Hospitality Maine says its members could be impacted immediately.
What is the biggest thing we can see with your industry if this were to happen? Our restaurants and our hotels would probably see it in supplies, ingredients they need for items on their menu, that sort of thing.
The Maine DOT and Port Authority also weighing in, telling CBS 13, while the direct impacts to Maine railroad operations are limited, the nationwide supply chain impacts would affect Maine businesses and consumers. It goes on to say, quote, the current priority for the state is to ensure that freight can keep moving through Maine. While some passenger rail would be affected by this nationally, Amtrak officials tell me they do not expect the Downeaster line to be impacted.
In Washington, an historic vote to protect same-sex and interracial marriages could happen in the House as soon as next week. This comes after the Respect for Marriage Act passed the Senate Wednesday night with the 12 Republicans, including Maine Senator Susan Collins, voting for it. Mel Meyer has more with why some couples say they're worried about what could happen without it.
He makes me a better person.
Justin Jeanette married his husband in 2016. They want to be treated like everyone else.
The fear that I have, the fear that me and my husband has, is that the Supreme Court could take away what we have.
It's a really important issue for us.
Westbrook resident Matthew Hoyt shares the concern, hearing that rights could be in question again following the Supreme Court's decision on abortion access over the summer created a sense of urgency for Hoyt and his now husband.
In his country, it's not legal for us to get married. And so our only option was really to come back to the U.S. and to plan to get married here.
At the time of the decision, there was still an upcoming election, adding to his worries about what could happen. This new bill would require the federal government and other states to recognize a marriage, so long as it's valid in the state it was performed in.
I'm hopeful that because of this step that Congress has taken, we have additional safeguards in place.
While the Senate and House have passed different versions of the bill, Republicans and Democrats have supported it.
I was happy to see that both sides were able to work together.
For an LGBTQ plus issue, it's historic.
Gia Drew with Equality Maine thinks this sends an important message of progress.
And the folks who are against us are in the minority. And this is a really good reminder to people that most of the country is in favor of LGBTQ rights.
Now she and others hope it leads to more change, like creating a nationwide non-discrimination law, further protecting LGBTQ plus people.
Kennebec Valley Community College held an event to help recruit potential employees for a local nonprofit that assists adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Skills Inc. held their hiring event in the Averill building on the KVCC campus to look for what they're calling direct support specialists. According to Barbara Richards, an HR specialist from Skills, the organization has been helping adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities for over 60 years.
We are looking to promote independence with the adults that we serve in all areas of their activities of daily living. There's any number of different areas that the folks we serve are really trying to become successful in and be independent.
You can find more information about Skills on their Facebook page or website at skillsinc.net. Maine Secretary of State has certified a petition that calls for a customer-owned Maine-based utility. Devin Dagnalt has the story.
Shenna Bellows, Maine's Secretary of State, certified the Our Power petition, which received over 60,000 valid signatures. The petition will allow Mainers to decide whether or not to create the Pine Tree Power Company, a non-profit customer-owned utility. The company would replace both Central Maine Power and Versant Power. Bellows says that the state's signature is not an endorsement, but simply a validation of the tens of thousands of Mainers who signed the petition.
We're not reviewing whether the bill is a good idea or a bad idea. We're not reviewing even whether the idea is constitutional or unconstitutional. Our sole duty is to make sure that the referendum question reflects what people have requested.
The state legislators will now take a look at the referendum and decide if they will pass it themselves or allow the people of Maine to vote on it in 2023. Nicole Grahowski, one of the proponents of the bill, says that if passed, the bill will bring big changes to the people of Maine.
Mainers can expect to see their rates going down, and the big reason for that is that there will no longer be profits being sent overseas to enrich foreign shareholders. We can also expect over time to see better service, but that will require some time to improve the quality of our grid.
In Augusta, I'm Devin Dagnall. Reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
After the break, healthy habits can decrease your risk of cancer. We'll take a look at how young those habits need to start. That's next. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Downeast Direct Cremation. We are this year's proud sponsors of the Salvation Army Christmas Toy Drive. Each year, the Salvation Army collects interesting, new, unopened, and unwrapped toys to ensure that every good boy and girl receives a gift on Christmas morning. This year, the need is greater than ever. We invite you to join with Santa, his elves, and all the rest of us to make this possible by bringing your gift for a good girl or boy to WKIT Radio at 861 Broadway in Bangor and placing it under the Zone Tree. From there, Santa, his elves, and the Salvation Army will make sure our donated gifts are wrapped and delivered to a good boy or girl in time for them to open on Christmas morning. Together, we can be the blessing to make a child's Christmas merrier and New Year happier.
Happy holidays from Osborne's Plumbing and Heating in Bucksport and Ellsworth, featuring boiler and furnace replacement, gas or oil. Happy holidays from Natural Living Center, featuring a huge selection of natural and organic groceries, health and beauty supplies, and much more. Merry Christmas to all from the crew at Guilford Hardware, 66 Water Street, Guilford.
Your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
If you need coffee,
check.
Tasty treats,
Check.
freshly made pizza, check. Or wine and spirits,
Check.
stop by and fill up your tank and check us out.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC7.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits for smoother surfing, streaming, gaming, and more. Advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy on all your devices. And one line of Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data and nationwide 5G included. Get it all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-976-499.
New York City's Mayor Eric Adams has announced a major effort to remove people with severe mental illness from the city's streets and subways. In a speech on Tuesday, the mayor issued a directive telling city agencies to transport people with severe mental illness from the city streets, even involuntarily, saying it is our obligation to care for those who are unable to care for themselves.
Going forward, we will make every effort to assist those who are suffering from mental illness and whose illness is endangering them by preventing them from meeting their basic human needs. And let me be clear, we will continue to do all we can to persuade those in need of help to accept services voluntarily, but we will not abandon them if those efforts cannot overcome the person's unawareness of their own illness. In short, we are confirming that a person's inability to meet basic needs to the extent that it poses a risk of harm is part of the standard for mental health interventions.
The city says training will be rolled out immediately to police officers and emergency medical personnel. Adams admits they will need significant help from Albany to put the entire plan into action. In the race to avert a crippling rail strike here in the U.S., senators are set to vote to enforce the tentative contract. There are still questions about whether rail unions will also get their additional paid sick leave. ABC's Alex Perche has the latest.
The scheduling on this is tricky. Right now, the deadline to prevent a potential rail strike is next week. But the big question is, are there enough votes in the Senate to keep these bills from getting derailed? Facing a devastating railroad shutdown this morning, Congress is scrambling to fast-track a deal to keep the nation's trains moving. The Senate expected to vote today to force rail workers to accept a tentative deal and avoid a strike. But some Republicans already signaling they're not on board.
president has dumped it on us and said, I want you to intervene, I want you to fix this, and I want you, in doing so, I want you to screw the workers.
But those across the aisle disagree.
Unfortunately, many of my friends on the other side of the aisle have turned the Republican Party into the party of no. No plans, no ideas, just blame Biden, blame the Democrats, blame everybody else.
The House took the first steps, passing 2 bills. The first, preventing a strike forcing workers to accept a tentative deal reached earlier this year, averting a shutdown that could cost the economy up to $2 billion a day. The second bill gives 7 days of paid sick leave for rail workers.
The president, of course, he supports paid sick leaves for all Americans, including rail workers.
But the White House press secretary going on to say that the president doesn't support any bill or amendment that delays getting this bill to his desk by Saturday. Alex Perchet, ABC News, Washington.
Healthy habits can decrease your risk of cancer. The CDC says these habits should start as a kid. With more, here's ABC's Alex Perchet.
Encouraging kids to make healthy choices will create good habits early on. The CDC says cancer prevention starts in childhood and offers tips that will reduce your child's risk. You should talk to your kids about staying safe in the sun and teach them to wear sunscreen and protective clothing. Encourage your kids to develop healthy eating habits and ensure that they are getting adequate exercise for their age group. You should get your kids vaccinated against human papillomavirus or HPV, as this can reduce their risk for several forms of cancer. And you should talk to your kids about smoking, as 9 in 10 adults who smoke started before the age of 18. With this Medical Minute, I'm Alex Perchet, ABC News.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Have both Medicare and Medicaid? Now's the time to explore your options and choose the coverage that's right for you. Choose a plan that offers you more benefits at no additional cost. Millions of members turn to WellCare for benefits and services that go beyond basic Medicare and help them lead better, healthier lives. Choose a plan with 0 or low monthly premiums, co-pays, and deductibles. And with WellCare, you don't just pay less, you get more. More dental with comprehensive coverage, including dentures and crowns. More vision and hearing with an eyewear allowance and hearing aids. Plus prescription drug coverage with $0 preferred generics and free home delivery. Call us at 1-877-267-8416 to speak to a friendly licensed representative and request a free all-in-one guide. There's no obligation. We're here to help you review your options to see if a WellCare plan is the right decision for you. WellCare has a large network of quality doctors and specialists. Plus, we offer PPOD SNPs with the freedom and flexibility to choose your preferred provider in some areas. Enjoy free over-the-counter healthcare items and free groceries with a healthy food card. Plus, free transportation to doctors and pharmacies and free meals delivered to your home. Get convenient access to care with our telehealth services, including online doctor visits and a free gym membership with online classes. WellCare is a leader in government-sponsored health care. It has been serving those with Medicare, Medicaid, and prescription drug for more than 35 years. Call now. We're here to answer your questions and even assist enrolling you over the phone. Choose the company that puts your health first. WellCare, Medicare done well. Call now and get a free copy of our all-in-one guide. 1-877-267-8416.
Right now and through the beginning of the year, there is no shortage of football to watch. Whether you're hosting a few friends at home or you're looking for just the right thing to take to your neighbors, I've got a tasty idea. The first thing we do is cut the top third off an oval Italian or sourdough bread. Then, with a knife, hollow out the inside, leaving about 1 inch all around so the bread holds its shape. As for the top piece, in the inside that we removed, just cut it into 1-inch chunks. After setting that aside, we mix together some cream cheese, sour cream, a bunch of shredded Swiss and cheddar cheese, and finally, cube mozzarella to make this ooey gooey delicious. Okay, now to take this over the top, we add in some crumbled bacon, a few sliced scallions, a spoonful of mustard, a shake or two of Worcestershire sauce, a splash of beer, and a little garlic powder. After spooning the mixture in our bread, We loosely wrap it in foil and place it in the oven until it's warmed through. Come halftime, serve it piping hot with the cut-up bread and a few veggies. Then dig in. This dip is extra cheesy and packed with flavor. And as for the cleanup, well, there is none. To get the winning game day recipe for our halftime bacon cheese dip, just go online. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a high-scoring way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Green hues brighten the dark Icelandic skies. The northern lights, also known as the Aurora Borealis, put on quite a light show above the Reykjavik Monday. The lights are best seen in the fall and winter when the nights are the longest. Dark hours mean more of a chance to catch the glimpse of the natural phenomenon. The northern lights are also frequently seen over Finland, Sweden, Greenland, and Canada. Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, happy Thursday afternoon. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Already here we are, wind advisory up for the northern ends of the state until 7 p.m. this evening. The gale warning is up until 9 p.m. this evening for some areas. Further down toward the south and west, though, this is up until 7 p.m. as well. So it's very hit and miss depending on where you're at, as the winds will start to slowly calm down a little bit later on tonight. But look at all the rain we had over the past 24 hours. Some areas reaching up to 1.25 inches in parts of Bangor, other areas like Cooper, close to 2 inches, so some decent rainfall across the state. But of course, though, we've had the winds, we've had the rain. Now we're starting to calm down, though, as we're watching out for some snow showers and snow flurries with some wraparound from the area of low pressure. That's all moving in from the northwest, going toward the south and east at this point, though. So here it is right here. We'll wait for later on tonight for this to back off, and things will begin to calm down just in time for the daytime tomorrow in the precipitation department. But yeah, we've also had the wind, so 60-mile-an-hour winds for the most part in Bar Harbor, 61 mile per hour in Eastport, and other areas at around 40 to 41 miles per hour in Millinocket and also in the Marshfield area. But of course, those gusty winds can reach up again around 30 miles per hour today, but notice they back off to around 15 miles per hour later on tonight and even into the daytime tomorrow. So the winds will finally start to ease up as we head into your Friday. Wave heights are still up there right now, around 4 to 6 feet according to some of the buoys. Well high further out towards sea, around 16 to 17 feet according to some of the buoys. So you can just tell that this area of low pressure is really making the wave heights really active across the area. Our average high is 40 degrees. We'll reach for the upper 30s today and tomorrow. The lower 50s for you Saturday, back down to 30s Sunday. Back in the 40s again Monday, Tuesday, and also into your Wednesday. Futurecast moving forward, mostly cloudy, some snow flurries and snow showers today. Becoming partly cloudy later on tonight, though, and even by tomorrow, not too bad. Some clouds moving in yet again, but a mixture of clouds and sun will be the general idea, and those clouds look to hold on as we head towards Friday night, too, and again, more moving in as we head towards Saturday morning. So again, any snowfall is going to be in the northern ends of the state. No meaningful accumulations at all in our backyard, so might be patchy in some spots, but further down toward the south, nothing to get too worried about overall. Forecast for today, upper 30s, some snow flurries and snow showers, with that west wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Later on tonight, middle 20s, becoming partly cloudy, west wind up to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow, upper 30s, partly cloudy, south wind up to around 5 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast. More rain on the way as we head towards the Saturday, with highs in the low 50s, mostly sunny on Sunday, highs in the low 30s and the lower 40s on Monday, with a partly cloudy sky.
Thank you, Devin. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
This landlord noticed pets acting out.
I see